Greeting ECU enthusiasts. Today we're doing something a little different, hopefully educational for you. Here's FedEx making a guest appearance again. They seem to love doing that whenever I make videos. I don't know why. In any case, what we're going to do today is we're going to compare the Gotway mSuperv3 84 volt to my hill out there, and at the same time to the Gotway M10 III. The plan, I think, is to use the GoPro to gauge the speed in terms of how it goes up and down the hill, and record it on the side-by-side so that you can see it actually on the steepest part. The hill I did some math on, taking the elevation by the length. It looks to be about 16 degrees in terms of grade, although I believe parts of that are certainly more steep, or have a greater steepness to them, and parts of that are less steep. So your mileage is going to vary there, but it'll give you an idea. Weighing in probably around 210 with the gear today. I was always wearing the wrist guards, although I'm not really wearing much else. By way of update, for those of you who watched the previous episodes of the King Songs and the Gotways and what have you, I did want to call out some unusual bruises I have on my knees here. You'll notice that happens to be about the height. If I, sorry for the angle. If I were to put my foot in there, you're going to find that that's where it's going to bang. So that was probably from the Gotway, although it could have been from the King Song. Also, speaking thereof, this little guy bit me when I was doing backwards practice, just above the ankle there. I wasn't wearing my ankle guards, and it got me. All right, so let's get it set up and go. All right, and here we are on the mSuper. I'm going to start the downhill section. I think it's about 80% battery. That's about where the other one is as well, just to make it a fair comparison. So hopefully we're getting the GPS signal here and everything will be hunky-dory. Going to start from the very bottom of the hill, and we'll do two runs, a standing start and a start with actual, yeah, ready? Standing start. As fast as I can lean the sucker in. So it's doing pretty good on the flat land here. And those of you who remember the 64 volt know that it just started to crawl and be really painful. So this one seems to have some hill climbing guts to it. We're moving along pretty good. I'm leaning into it hard, but I'm not using my legs to grab it and push it. And up the hill, absolutely no problem. Let's go for the bonus hill now. I have not measured the steepness of this one. I don't have a good way of doing that because the maps aren't exactly accurate. But I can tell you it is, in fact, steeper, significantly steeper. And here we start the steep section now. We've got a running start into this one. As you can see the hill. Oh, come on, you can make it. Oh, jeez. Just made it. Just made it. I believe. And of course, this is banging into my calves because it's a very wide. mSupers are wide, and the more battery you add to them, the wider they get. There's a car coming there, and they were freaking out a moment, so I was freaking out a moment. I do prefer, I think, narrow. Because I don't like it when it rubs on the calves down there. Leaves bruises and things if you're not doing it right. All right, so I guess we actually don't need to do two runs. That was pretty damn good from pretty much a standing start. Maybe I'll just do a standing start here in the steep section as well. Let's come back around. All right. From a standing stop. And go, go, go. That's power. That is really nice power. You know that was unpleasant on the King Songs and the rest of them. So, all right, let's go back and reset. I'll grab the M10 with predictable results. It'll be interesting to see what the speed is according to the GPS. All right, here we are on the M10, 512 watt-hour version. We're going to do the same run. A little bit of luck anyway. This one just puts a smile on my face. I know it's squirrely and people don't like it, but I love it. Let me fix my... Yep, there's a car coming. It's gotta love mirrors. We'll just wait for them to pass. Or maybe we'll come out and see what they're doing so they can see what I'm doing. Oh, they're just turning around. Okay. Oh, it was a tricky way to get into the garage. Interesting. All right, so basically from a standing start, here we go, nice and fast. And we get to the steep section. Feels like the tire needs some air. Maybe it's not totally a fair comparison, but I'm guessing about the same speed, maybe a little faster. We'll see on the replay. And now off to the other section. Sort of a little more squirmy, makes you a little more nervous at speeds, but you do get used to it, and it does fix your bad habits. So that if you ever do get into a situation where the big ones are squirming, hopefully you can recover. And now we're going up the super steep hill. Unlimited torque, not even a hesitation. Just a beautiful little wheel. So there we have it. Short and sweet, I hope. Oh, one more test, right? From a standing start on the steep part. I think we all know what the result's going to be there, but we'll do it anyway. It's coming around. Shouldn't be more than another 10 seconds or so. Gentlemen, let me know if this kind of thing is useful for those of you who are like learning and shopping. All right, here we go, lining up from the same spot on the pavement, as it were. And I have to get off on this one. I can just kind of stop and now go. And go. You can hear it grunting probably. Oh, warning beep. I was overpressuring perhaps, or a forced warning beep, who knows. So the thing to say between the 64 volt and the 84 volt mSupers is the 64 volt really did crawl. Now, that confuses me a little bit because the voltage shouldn't matter too much. As I understand it, you pump up the voltage so you can lower the amperage on the wires and have a cheaper construction. But I'm guessing the Gotway did other things at the same time on that. This, by the way, is why the Segways can get away with just as much power and force at lower voltages. But there is probably something to be said for using wires that are thinner and lighter. Just a little bit of a wrap up for my regular viewers on the MCM5. It got held up in customs. I'm told that they released it on Friday, and so it should be shipping out on Monday. So hopefully next week, fingers crossed, I'll actually have the MCM5 here, and I can give back the Gotway and what have you. So that's a 14-inch wheel. In case you haven't noticed, I'm going in increments of 10-inch, 14-inch, and the planned 18-inch. So I put down a deposit on the Segway Z10. My thought process there was that I really wanted a different experience. If I'm going to have a perfectly competent 14-inch wheel that takes me everywhere I need to go with lots of power, then it ought to be a special wheel when I get to 18, right? So it's a decision, I would say, for people who have the luxury of having more than one wheel. If your situation is only one wheel, you know what, 16, 18, or where you want to land, probably with the Kingsong 18L is what I would say for the 18s. For the 16s, I'd think hard about the Tesla probably. I haven't been on one, but all of my research points to that as being a pretty good wheel. The Kingsong 16S is also a remarkably good wheel. But anyway, if you kind of have more than one, then I guess spreading them out is kind of what I'm thinking as we collect them. And I really was liking what I was reading about the Z10 and throwing your weight into it and being very, very physical in the slalom. That kind of appealed to me. And it's also short and squat, and its balance is pretty good. And of course, it's a Segway, so I always hear things about Gotway quality. But you know, with the Kingsong breaking down, they're about even. I think everyone's got problems sooner or later, right? Hopefully, the Segway quality is really up there though, because the heritage, the 9-bot Segway, I should say, 9-bot Segway. So there's the ramblings, there's the thoughts. I'm expecting it last week in August for the Z10. So we'll let you know how that goes. There will be hopefully some videos and comparisons coming up on that too. Good riding, I guess. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording.